Instagram has 1 billion monthly active users. So if you think your niche is too small, that's probably the right niche. Peter McKinnon, pretty big YouTuber. He has almost 5 million subscribers. His subscriber base has really gone up in the past couple of years. Most of his recent content revolves around photography, filming, and editing. His videos are, even if you're not into those topics, they're usually pretty entertaining to watch. He does make more filmmaking type videos these days, but he has roots similar to my channel in doing growth tips. And he recently released How to Crush Instagram in 2020 video, which I was kind of surprised to see. I think a lot of people recognize Peter McKinnon's popularity from a couple of years ago when he appeared and became friends with Casey Neistat, appeared in a lot of Casey Neistat's videos. About 3 years ago, actually, before he met Casey Neistat, he released a video, 8 camera hacks in 90 seconds. And this particular video, for some reason, on YouTube went viral. And I gotta say, even watching it today, it's a fantastic video. But that calls back to the fact that his roots on his channel are doing hacks and tips. Now, for my channel, it's a much smaller audience here. Welcome, by the way, if you're part of watching my channel. Subscribe to this channel if you find this video either entertaining or actually if you find some of the tips that we talk about in a little bit useful. Please hit the subscribe, hit that like as well. And for the newer subscribers on this channel, you may not know about this, but my channel actually has roots in doing Instagram growth hacks. So I have a series of how to sell like crazy on Instagram, and it's done pretty well. It's still some of my best performing videos on this channel, despite it also being like several years old. I'm really interested to see what tips Peter brings up in his video and how much of it's actually hacky versus like good growth tips. I don't know what we're getting ourselves into here.
How to get 100,000 followers super fast. How do you do that, Pete? You see, there's no magic formula, there's no algorithm, there's no like growth hacks, follower pods, all this fake nonsense that people sell you, try to, get you involved in so that hopefully you can also have 100,000 followers. I think the first thing is to start with what you want. Why do you want that? Why do you want that many followers? Are you trying to make this a business?
So he's immediately dismissed the hokey tactics, the sort of group follow for follow type stuff, sort of like the tricks that you might be able to use to get some following, and tries to get at the meat at why are people on the platform growing organically. Full white hat approach. And if you are going organic growth, the first thing that you want to ask is, why do you want this and why should people care? And the very next question I would recommend you ask is, like, how are you different? What's your niche? Which I'm sure he's going to mention. Calling it now, he's going to mention finding a niche.
I've seen tons of videos, seen lots of people talk about, well, you got to post stuff that's meaningful to you. And for sure, you're not just going to go post a bunch of garbage that you have zero interest in the hopes that it might pop off and become a career. That's not going to last long. You're going to hate every minute of it. And it's just not a future-proofed idea that is worth following. Where I hear people talk about, you gotta find something that isn't too niche or it's marketable, it's something that
didn't take very long. Instagram has 1 billion monthly active users. So if you think your niche is too small, that's probably the right niche, because there's just, the scale of Instagram is so huge that having an account of being the topic of everything, it's just things you carry in your pocket every day, there's hundreds of thousands, there's probably millions of people who would follow that account if they found it. So all the big major topics are probably saturated, but that's perfectly fine, because if you find a niche that you're interested in and you make really great content, you can get to the millions fairly quickly, considering that there's over 1 billion monthly active users. Ugh, it's crazy.
That's got potential for business is where I kind of disagree a little bit. I think if you put your own unique spin on something, no matter what it is, you can make almost anything interesting.
What I think Peter's trying to get at here is the underlying, like, what you find interesting, and the reason why you find it interesting is what makes you interesting. And that's what you should make your content about, and you shouldn't feel bad about it. I've struggled with that exact thing on this channel. I try to make stuff that I find interesting. It's really hard to do if you don't believe that what you find interesting is interesting to other people. And I don't want to belittle that problem. It's not an easy problem to get past. But if you can get past it, you might carve out your own space.
I felt the need to start a second account because there was just other things I wanted to photograph and other things I wanted to share that didn't really fit the brand that I've created, that is Peter McKinnon. So what did I do? I started a second account, and I actually started it anonymous. I didn't want people to know it was really me. I dropped some hints here and there. I just wanted some place to go to post photos like just anyone else, just a photographer that likes taking pics. Now you could look at a topic like pocket knives or everyday carry, the whole EDC. That's a pretty niche field, right? Stuff that people carry in their pockets every day. Tools, knives, mostly useless things. It's like grown-up show and tell. Nothing that people really need, aside maybe a few things. But I just always liked accessories. I've always liked tools. I've always liked pocket knives. I've always liked trinket-like things that I can use for props and photos. And I thought, I'm just gonna make a whole account where I can photograph these things, and they'll fit on this account very nicely. That account went from 0 to 180,000 in less than a year. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsor for this video.
Okay, so this video is sponsored. Probably got paid about 10K for this sponsored spot, is my guess. Now let's take a pause because I want to just take a look at the actual earnings of my videos on the growth on Instagram. My CPM on these videos has been $15 roughly on average. So for every 1,000 views that my Instagram tips videos get, I get $15. If Peter is getting a similar CPM on his Instagram growth video, I can now see kind of why he made this video. It makes sense from a financial standpoint because just looking at the views in the first 24 hours, he's gonna make over $3,000. That's really just the tip of the iceberg. He'll probably make like 10 times that amount over the next year, just as this video gets picked up by the algorithm and gets more viewership. Plus sponsors and his affiliates, his affiliate links and all of that stuff. So he can make a lot of money just by making this one video.
The aesthetic, the sphere of things that make up everyday carry, make up pocket knives and stuff you keep in your pockets. Because if you were to just take photos of what's in your pockets, snap it and upload it with no vibe, with no style, without thinking about the sphere, it's just stuff in your pockets. It's dumb. No one wants it. Who cares? Get out of here.
Another thing that I'm thinking about right now is I do have this idea for a different video where I go out and help small business owners get 10K, 20K, 100K followers on Instagram or whatever the platform is that's most helpful to their business. If you're at all interested in that, let me know in the comments. I think it could be like a really great story to tell and also just like leave someone in a better place than I found them. So quick little plug for that video idea down the road.
Now you apply consistency to that. Just do it. Don't stop doing it. Do it a lot and stick to it. Stick to your theme. Stick to your brand. Stick to what it is that you're selling. Yourself, your story, your vibe, your interests, your hobbies, your excitement and passion for something. You stick to that. You be consistent with it and you keep going. And that's
This is something I don't do. I switch topics like crazy. Yeah, I mean, I know I would be better off if I stuck to the same topic on my YouTube channel as well as if I were growing on Instagram, but I'm not selling this channel. You guys can follow if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Hop on thinking I like what I'm seeing here. This is cool, and I'm getting a lot of it. I'm gonna subscribe to this. I'm gonna follow this. Then the tags start, and then the stories follow, shares, and the account grows. Now you're at a point where you might be able to market that because you've created your own.
He's telling a story, but he's like he said in the beginning, he's not really giving any tactile tips or tricks here. So it's a long video to like we're I don't know 7 minutes in here, and let me summarize this in one sentence. Like, pick a niche and post consistently. Like that was a tip back when I was making my old videos. Like that's nothing new for 2020.
You gotta have passion above all. Great gear, great ideas, great photos, great branding, all of that stuff. There needs to be something behind it that fuels it and pushes it forward and continues to try to lift it to new heights constantly. And that's passion. If you don't enjoy it, if you don't like it, it's just gonna be another thing. And that's okay. There's a lot of people out there using Instagram just because they want to.
It's like very teetering on motivational speaker, which is fine. I just am still thirsty for those Instagram tips.
This is real talk. Less of like a 5 tips to grow your Instagram from 0 to 170,000 in 1 year. That's a catchy title, but there's a lot of things involved. There's no magic thing. I guess if this video has a point, it's like there's no one thing that's gonna get you from here to
Maybe I should make that video that he just said he's not making.
It's an amalgamation of things that root in your passion and persistence. Now that's not a fun answer because we just want things now. We want those likes, we want those follows, we want results. We want that money in the bank, we want this to work tomorrow. I've been putting this kind of work into my Instagram account for ages, for months. And for some it might take months, years, couple years. Who knows? It's different for everybody.
I'm still hungry for those tips. All right, in 2020, you can now start group texts in Instagram, and the way you want to engage with people is this way or that way, like that sort of level, like specifics of techniques. Really, I want techniques. And there's 3 types of techniques in Instagram. White hat techniques that are 100% above board, the correct things to be doing. Think of things like using appropriate hashtags. Total white hat thing. Then there's like gray hat tactics that are very helpful and very useful to drive engagement and find, like, don't wait for the algo to come bring stuff to you, to go out to your audience. Yes, it might be a little bit less organic, but it does work and it does get you, that's a great tactic to go from like 0 to 10K, for example. And tactics like that are going out and finding your followers and liking their posts and DMing them directly. It's sort of gray hat. It's like, this isn't really what Instagram's for directly, but you're not breaking any rules either. And then there's like black hat tactics like botting and different variabilities of applying a bot to your account, which I wouldn't recommend because it's against terms of service. However, it is extremely prevalent on Instagram. Even in 2020, it's very prevalent. So if nothing else, this video and sort of the lack of techniques, as much as Peter tells a great story about how to grow and how to have a vision for your not for your channel, but how to have a vision for your Instagram page, and sort of the why is it important to you. He talks a lot about that, but it is missing those techniques. So it's kind of inspiring me maybe to make an updated video. I didn't think that would be the outcome here, but yeah. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I really enjoyed making it. Hit the like button and the subscribe on my channel. I'm really enjoying making videos exactly like this one, especially with the little one right here in my lap while I'm doing it. And let me know in the comments if you like this, if you have specific topics you want me to cover or videos you want me to cover in the future. I've got lots of ideas, but if there's something that's pressing for you all, I'm happy to make it. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next one.